Just under 100 million people visit Mexico every year. They're drawn down south for all sorts of reasons. From the golden beaches of the Pacific coast to the ivory white sands of the Yucatan. The mystical temples of Chichen Itza to the taquerías of Mexico City. The hills of Oaxaca to the tequila-soaked villages of Jalisco. There's loads to get through. But what are the most dangerous places in Mexico that everyone should avoid? Unfortunately, there is no lack of them. When it comes to crime and other issues, Mexico has a bit of a poor reputation. Here are 5 of the world's 6 most violent cities in a typical year. The nation experiences a startling 14,000 plus homicides linked to the drug cartels, home to the busiest land border crossing in the world. Tijuana sees more than 50 million people pass through every year. That's one stat. Another is more shocking. A murder rate of 134 per 100,000 head of population. Actually, geography is the only factor at play. Simply look up Tijuana's location on a map. It's hardly unexpected that it has turned into a hub for traffickers and cartels, given that it is conveniently located on top of the US-Mexico border, just below San Diego. In fact, several of the most powerful cartels in the nation have been fighting over it since the early 1980s. And things haven't really subsided since then. Thing is, much of the violence in Tijuana is limited to specific areas. Thousands of day and night visitors still cross to enjoy the shopping of downtown Tijuana and the party venues of Avenida Revolucion, where you can sample authentic tacos and hit cool bars, not to mention score cheap pharmaceuticals galore. However, there are certain areas to avoid completely, like the Zona Norte red light district and the neighborhoods to the east of the town center. Los Cabos, which tops off the picturesque Baja California Sur Peninsula, is a popular travel destination. Gold sand beaches, incredible whale watching, perfect surf breaks, and a reputation for luxury and debauchery keep spring breakers and jet-set celebrities coming back for more. That's all despite the fact that it is arguably the most dangerous city in Mexico. To put it in perspective, in 2017, the city had 245 residents and a total of 365 homicides reported. That translates to a murder rate of just over 110 per 100k people, putting it roughly in line with the top to most deadly cities on the planet, both of which happen to be in Mexico. The New York Times have reported that shootings in Los Cabos indicate conflicts by cartels battling over territory. They do, however, make it clear that tourists were not the target in these shootings. What's more, the vast majority of tourist visits to the town go off without a hitch. Slammers in Cabo Wabo. So we'd say have your wits about you, but don't be put off coming to see the humpbacks. And get your tequila. First made famous in the 1950s as the spot JF Kennedy and Jackie Kennedy chose for their honeymoon, Acapulco is now much more dangerous due to the high level of homicides. Known as one of the most dangerous places in Mexico, a good tip is to not venture too far from your holiday resorts. Drug trafficking, land disputes, and social, institutional, historical, and environmental causes have all contributed to an increase in violence in the city. The good news is that in part because the city has a public safety policy that helps tourists. The violence doesn't really have an impact on tourism. It's a bit ironic that the name La Paz means peace in Spanish, as this holiday hotspot is anything but peaceful. This capital city of Baja California, sir, with its rugged beaches and incredible beaches, does require travelers to be careful and aware of their surroundings. La Paz has no travel restrictions. However, the high crime rate discourages the majority of tourists from spending their vacations here. The Los Angeles Times reports that the fact that some of the homicides are occurring close to airports is the biggest worry for passengers. As with other cities in the Mexican state of Tamaulipas, the crime rate here continues to rise, mostly due to rival drug cartels operating in this area. According to Business Insider, much of the bloodshed is caused by shootouts between rival gang members, as well as these individuals clashing with police officers and soldiers. The major drug cartel in the area is the hyper-violent Zetas group, according to NBC News. San Diego's proximity to other law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the U.S. Coast Guard, and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, makes it safe. It is so bad, in fact, that some of the violence and homicides even happen within prison walls. The Guardian reported that in 2017 there was a big shootout inside a prison, which led to injuring 13 people and killing 7. Located around an hour from the Pacific coast, the city of Culiacan is the capital city of the Sinaloa Mexican state. It is an 8-hour drive away from the tourist hotspot of Puerto Vallarta, but not nearly as inviting because of its crime rate. It deserves a spot on our most dangerous places in Mexico list, as drugs and violence are the first things that come to mind when you ask them about Culiacan. PBS reported that the state's problem with drug rivalry reaches back as far as 100 years. Culiacan has in fact become the hotbed of the largest drug traffickers Mexico has ever known. Ciudad Juarez is the highest populated city in the Mexican state of Chihuahua, situated on the Rio Grande just south of El Paso in Texas. This is one of the most dangerous cities in Mexico and also around the world. However, a report by the State Department's Overseas Security Advisory Council stated that U.S. tourists are not a specific target for violence. The council has warned visitors to be aware of burglary, theft, carjacking and robbery. Homicide has also been on the rise since 2016, which earns it its nickname as being Mexico's murder city. The State Department has advised travelers to reconsider visiting this dangerous city. In 2017 alone, Chihuahua had 460 homicides. A lot if you consider its population of 929,884. Chihuahua City is the capital of the Mexican state by the same name. The Army and Federal Police have bases in this city to help operate anti-drug operations. Their presence seems to have a positive effect as crime and murder rates have fallen from 2010. Ciudad Obregon is a large city based in the northern Mexican state of Sonoran. It was named after the Mexican president, Alvaro Obregon. The Tucson Sentinel has reported that the U.S. Department of State has warned that non-essential travel to this city should be halted unless the crime rates drop, as with our other most dangerous places in Mexico. The high crime and homicide rate is due to the international drug trade. It's also known for its high human trafficking rates.